everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something very different for this channel. We're going to be doing a updated version of my Marilyn Manson tier list from a year ago. And I'm just going to let you know, a lot of my thoughts and opinions have changed over this past year. Because I gave all of these albums a fresh re-listen. And we're going to start with his 1994 debut, Portrait of an American Family. This is going to fantastic. Now, granted, it's not a perfect album. While I do think Prelude, The Family Trip is a solid opener, it's not quite on par with the rest of the songs, in my opinion. Personal favorites from this one honestly go to Lunchbox, Get Your Gun, and Wrapped in Plastic. Love these three songs. I also love Dope Hat, Cyclops, Organ Grinder, Cake and Sodomy, Dogma, Snake Eyes and Sissies, and My Monkey. Now, I also have the same problem with the opener as I do with the closer. The closer is actually my least favorite on this album, and in my opinion is way too long. This did not need to be 13 minutes, especially considering like the last 7 minutes is basically just a phone ringing until someone answers it and basically just says, leave me and my son alone. Stop giving me messages. Yeah, that's kind of a problem for me. That it just feels unnecessarily bloated, and it just kind it drags down what could be possibly a 9 out of 10 song, or maybe even a 10 out of 10 to like an 8 out of 10. Honestly, it drags it down a couple of steps. And I'll play you a brief segment of my favorite song from there, because I checked on Instagram and you can use their music without getting copyrighted. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play. You know what? Yeah, let's do Lunchbox. Why not? Yeah, let's do Lunchbox.
This motherfucker's gonna get my medal.
Now, granted, I'm only allowed to use 6 seconds of this because I don't trust this. But that's just what I'm just gonna show you the opener of Lunchbox with the kid saying, "This motherfucker's gonna get my medal," and we're gonna end it there. But next up, we have his 1996 album, Antichrist Superstar. And this album is going to perfection. Not my favorite. It's still not my favorite, believe it or not, but it has grown on me significantly from last time. I really love the opener, Irresponsible Hate Anthem. Love The Beautiful People. Love Dried Up, Tied Up, and Dead to the World. Love Tourniquet. Love Little Horn, Crypto Child, Deformography, Warm Boy, Mr. Superstar. This whole album I love from beginning to end. But my personal favorites are probably Warm Boy, Crypto Child, and and Man That You Fear. Those are probably my 3 personal favorites. I know those are the softer songs on this album, but personally, I like it when he's influenced by David Bowie. Honestly, like it really does add a very symphonic and atmospheric sense to this. It shows that he's more than just pure unbridled chaos. I was thirsty, and in fact, I will play you a brief segment of the Man That You Fear.
Crawl into the dark. Your poison, all your
Alright, there's your brief segment. If you want to hear this whole song, here comes a strong recommendation from me. This is one of my favorite Manson songs. Next up, we have my personal favorite Marilyn Manson album, his 1998 release, Mechanical Animals. And this album is going to the top of perfection. I love this thing. From the opener of Great Big White World all the way to the closer of Coma White. Just a banger of an album from beginning to end. But my personal favorite on here is The Speed of Pain. That is my personal favorite. I also love I Don't Like the Drugs, but the Drugs Like Me. User Friendly, New Model Number 15, and The Last Day on Earth. Earth on top of Dissociative and Rock is Dead. Excellent album. This is a 10 out of 10 album in my opinion. If you take nothing from my ranking, please check out Mechanical Animals. And here's just a brief little segment of it, because once again, copyright is a bitch. So I can only show 6 seconds of it. I'm just going to show... Yeah, I'm going to show I Don't Like the Drugs, but the Drugs Like Me. I'm just going to show you a brief... Just a brief second of that. Because once again, I don't want copyright bots up my ass, but I want to do something different and make this video extra special for y'all. Next up, we have Hollywood. In the Shadow of the Valley of Death. Released in 2000. Now, last time I had this album at perfection. But this time, I'm going to put it at the top of fantastic, actually. It's not perfection perfection for me this time. Because I actually think there are weaker tracks like God Eat God and The Fall of Adam that do drag it down just slightly. But don't get me wrong, this is still like a 9.8 to a 9.9 album. I would personally say a 9.8, but if you gave this higher, I wouldn't blame you. If you put this in perfection, I wouldn't blame you. But to me, this album isn't perfect. There's some really strong tracks on here, though, like The Love Song, The Fight Song, Disposable Teens, Target Audience, President Dead, the title track, Crucifixion in Space, Place in the Dirt, The Nobodies, The Death Song, Lamb of God, Burning Flag is also another personal favorite. I also love Coma Black. Excellent album, just not perfect. And I'm going to play you... What am I feeling like? I'll play you Disposable Teens. I'm just going to play you a brief segment of that one. That was 8 seconds, but I hope it doesn't get me tagged. Please, YouTube copy bots, please don't tag me. Anyway. We're going to move on to The Golden Age of Grotesque, released in 2003. Now, most of these albums actually grew on me. Except for this one. This one kind of soured on me just a little bit. I'm going to put this at great tier, personally. I would still probably give this like a B plus on its own. And there's some great stuff on here, especially like This Is the New Shit, Mob Scene. Also, Kaboom Kaboom is my personal favorite. I also like... Slut Garden. Silly titles again, yo. They got me again. Paranoia, the Bright Young Things, Better of Two Evils, and Bo Devil. But unfortunately, the instrumental opener and instrumental closer don't do much for me, and I feel like you could carve off Saint as well, and especially the title track. I do not like the title track still. That title track kind of sucks, in my opinion. But this is still worth your time. I would just recommend getting past some of the must hears before you move on to this thing, personally. And I'll just play you. What am I feeling like? What am I feeling like from this one? What am I feeling like? Yeah, I'm gonna play you a clip from Mob Scene from this one. And next up we have his 2007 release, Eat Me, Drink Me. This one actually grew on me a little bit. It was at okay originally, but now it's gone to good. I think this is a good album. Once again, still get some of the must-hears out of your way before you listen to this, but this is a good album, and I think worth your time. I also like that it's a little trimmed up at 52 minutes. I appreciate the tighter runtime for this one. Yeah, every track on here is solid. No track is above any of the other tracks. I would say my personal favorites are probably Evidence, Are You the Rabbit, You and Me, The Devil Makes Three, and Heart Shaped Glasses. This album is relatively pretty good. I would recommend giving this a listen, especially if you like goth music like The Cure or Typo Negative. For example, maybe if you like Tribulation, but that's more stretching it to like black and goth more than straight goth. But this is not a bad listen. This is not a bad listen. It's a pretty good listen. And I'll play you. What am I feeling like? And I'll play you Heart Shaped. No, that video. That video is kind of infamous now, so I'm not gonna play that one. I'm gonna play Evidence.
To taste what you're ashamed, and I know you're not just what.
And that's all I can show because of copyright. Next up, we have The High End of Low, released in 2009. And now, in my personal opinion, this album is going to good, slightly above Eat Me, Drink Me. There are some great tracks on here, like Pretty as a Swastika and Leave a Scar and Four Rusted Horses. I also rather like I Want to Kill You Like They Do in the Movies and Running to the Edge of the World. But there's also some crap like Wow. This song kind of sucks. It's a little better than the title track of Golden Age of Grotesque, but this one sucks, if I'm being honest. This one grew on me a little bit too, mainly the singles like Armageddon and We're From America. I also really like I Have to Look Up Just to See Hell as well. That's another stronger track. But if I'm being fair, that you could trim out some weaker songs like Wow. I would also say you could trim out Blank and White, White Spider, and Into the Fire. And this would, because this thing is way too long at 72 minutes. Gonna be honest with you. If they trim this thing down to like a lean, mean, like 50 minutes, I would probably enjoy this a lot more. But that's just my opinion, and I'm gonna play y'all. You know what? I'm gonna play y'all. I'll play you a segment from I Have to Look Up Just to See Hell. That's all I can show. You know why. Anyway. Next up, we have his 2009 release, or their sorry, that was the 2009 release, the High and Low. Their 2012 release, sorry, yo, their 2012 release, Born Villain. And this one surprised me, actually. I'm not even gonna lie to you. This one surprised me just a little bit. I'm actually going to put this at amazing, above Golden Age of Grotesque, believe it or not. This one surprised me with how good it was. I really like Hey Cruel World, No Reflection, Pistol Whip, Overneath the Path of Misery, and Slow Motion. My least favorite is still The Gardener, but that one grew from like a 6 to a 5 to an 8. I would actually give The Gardener an 8 out of 10. I also love The Flowers of Evil, Children of Cain, Disengaged, Lay Down Your Arms, Murderers Are Getting Pretty Every Day, Born Villain, and Breaking the Same Old Ground. I even love his weird cover of You're So Vain, but from Carly Simone. And it also features Johnny Depp, oddly enough. That's interesting. This is a very interesting album, and I rather enjoyed this thing from beginning to end. It's not on his like best, but this is worth checking out, yo. I'm not even kidding. This is worth checking out. And for this one, hmm. I'm debating which song I want to play from there. Because the obvious pick would be Underneath the Path of Misery, but good God, I do not want to get this video demonetized. You know what? I'm just gonna play you a clip from Murders Are Getting Prettier every day. And we're gonna put But that stuff we got their 2015 release, The Pale Emperor. And this one grew on me. Also, hey, fun fact, y'all, this actually released the day before my birthday. Ain't that funny? Anyway, but this one surprised me. This one grew on me like significantly, to the point where I'm actually going to put it in perfection. Consider it number 3. It actually beat out Hollywood in the Shadow of the Valley of Death. I'm not even kidding. Just banger tracks from the opener, Killing Strangers. I also love Deep Sits, Third Day of the 7-Day Binge. However you pronounce that, the Misanthropist of Los Angeles, Worship My Rex, Slave Only Dreams to Be King, The Devil Beneath My Feet, Birds of Hell Awaiting, Cupid Carries a Gun, and Odds of Even. Now, let me give you fair warning about this one, though. This is probably his most country-influenced album. So if you just despise everything about country music, you probably won't get much out of this. But if you are like me, who can appreciate some good country like Johnny Cash and even newer artists like Orville Peck and sorry, not Orville Peck, or yeah, like Orville Peck, Rustin Kelly, The White Buffalo. If you can appreciate some country, you can get a lot out of this album. I'm not kidding. But you have to have an open mind and you have to be willing to listen to something different from him. And for this one, I'm going to play you, just to get you intrigued for the sound, I'm going to play you a segment of the song Killing Strangers.
Dynamite, we just might.
And if you like that segment and you want to hear more, check out this song, check out this album, seriously. But next up, we have my least favorite release from him still, his 2017 release, Heaven Upside Down. This is going to okay. It's grown on me a little bit. Like, I'm not seething over it like I was last time. And I also appreciate that it's only 47 minutes. And there are some good tracks on here, like We Know Where You Fucking Live, and I also like Saturnalia. Outside of that, everything else is okay. Like Revolution 12 is okay, same with Tattooed in Reverse, Say 10, Kill for Me, Jesus Crisis, Blood Honey, Heaven Upside Down, and Threats of Romance are all just okay. This went from like a D minus to a D plus. It could grow on me with further listens, but for where it stands right now, I'm putting it at the top of okay. Still my least favorite album from him though. From them though. And when I say them, I don't mean Manson, I mean like the whole band. Still my least favorite album from them though. Next up we have their 2020 release, We Are Chaos. And this one surprised me because this one also grew on me too. I had it at good before. I'm actually bumping it up to great tier. Not even joking. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm just gonna skip Heaven Upside Down for now. Once again, just check out the two tracks. We Know Where You Fucking Live and Saturnalia. I'm just gonna skip that one for now. C'est la vie. But next up we have We Are Chaos, their 2020 release. And this is a relatively solid album. It grew on me to great tier. I really like the opener Red, Black, and Blue, and even like the John Lennon sounding We Are Chaos and the synth poppy Don't Chase the Dead. Also like Paint You With My Love, Halfway One Step Forward, Infinite Darkness. I still really like Perfume and Keep My Head Together, and Solve Coagula and Broken Needle. Really solid album, honestly. Like this is an album I would give an 8 out of 10 to. Like this is a solid B. Great album. Check this one out if you haven't, honestly. Like it might grow on you like it is growing on me. And for this one, I'm just going to show you the title track from this one. Because this one is kind of trippy. And that's all I can show. But next up, we have their 2024 release, One Assassination Under God, Chapter 1. Still don't like the title, but honestly, this album is going to the top of amazing. Not even joking. It almost made a case for going into fantastic, but there's one other album I like a little bit more than this one. But yeah, solid opener with the title track. I also like No Funeral Without Applause. Not If You Understand, Sacrilegious, and Raise the Red Flag are my three personal favorites on here, though. Those are excellent tracks, and this is also a pretty tight and consistent runtime at 43 minutes. This is worth checking out, in my opinion. This is an amazing album, one of his better and more consistent releases. And this is honestly worth your time. Like, if you haven't checked this one out, check this one out. And for this one, I'm going to play you a segment of I'm going to play you a segment of Sacrilegious.
But make sure that you look down. Jump, spin, and on.
That's all I can show for copyright reasons. Moving on. Next up, we have his newest release, their newest release with One Assassination Under God, Chapter 2, released this year on August 14th. This is actually going to fantastic. I love the opener on Alive. I also love Don't Answer the Door and Front Towards the Enemy. It gets a little less consistent in the middle with All the Vilest Things Know the Suns, Lucifer's Teardrop, and The Arsonist, but it picks back up with Exit Wound and ends on a decent note with in a topomorph? I don't know, however you pronounce that. Relatively solid album, a little bit of a step up from the last one, but it's still not perfect and still can't compete with my top 3 albums, but it can play with the big boys though. It's like number 6 of 13. So you know what? Good job for the new album. Good job, Manson. You actually topped yourself with your newest album. I'm proud of you. And I'm gonna play you a segment of Front Towards the Enemy, which is probably my favorite song on this album. That's all I can show for copyright. But that's my Marylin Manson tier list. Tell me if I got it right. Tell me if I got it wrong. Tell me your rankings in the comments below. I would greatly appreciate that. And if you like what you see here, feel free to drop a like and drop a subscribe. I usually post videos once a week. And all of you have a great day, a great weekend, and a great week. I'll see all of you next week. Take care, everyone.